This is the video instructions for the Early Hominid Evolution course activity. The objective for this activity is that you will be able to identify basic trends in hominid evolution from early ancestors 6 million years ago to modern humans. Yes, we're going to be talking about evolution of humans, and we're going to go back 6 million years to the early hominids all the way up to today's humans and how things have changed for humans in 6 million years. Something I really want you to understand is that 6 million is a drop in the bucket compared to the total history of the Earth. The history of the Earth is 4,800 million years old, or 4.8 billion years old. So 4,800 million years compared to 6 million years, what's $6 compared to $4,800? It's nothing. And that's the entire history of all of hominid evolution. And so we're talking about a very short amount of time compared to the history of the Earth that these organisms have been alive on Earth and how it shaped us into what we are today. I realize the controversial nature of this. I realize that many of you are going to be shaking your head and saying that this is ridiculous. Keep in mind, my daughter is going to her Christian school right now, and she's learning the exact opposite. She's being taught something called defeating Darwinism, and I'm excited about it. I wish I could allow you guys to do that as well. But the truth is that I want you to learn this, and I want you to learn it because it helps you to understand what evolution is. It has nothing to do with whether or not you believe it, okay? And most people don't have a problem with evolution until we get to this exact thing right here. So just do it. Keep an open mind. Learn. At the very least, you'll be able to make a better argument the next time you want to argue against evolution. So scientists have found tons of fossils of organisms around the world that are what we call bipedal hominids, okay? And they predate the appearance of modern humans. The oldest fossils of modern humans are only about 200,000 years old. To put that in perspective, of 4.8 billion years, that's less than 2 cents if it was $4,800 for 4.8 billion years, right? So we're talking about an unbelievably short amount of time that modern humans have been on the Earth. But the previous 4 million years are filled with numerous species of bipedal hominids. And there's a lot of fossils that are studied over and over again with slightly different shapes, and these organisms don't exist today. They're not here now, okay? And so can scientists make some predictions, make some suppositions about what life was like for these organisms for the last 4 million years? No human fossils more than 200,000 years old, but all these other fossils appear, and they're very similar. And no, they're not some type of different ape. These are very different structures. These are very different shapes that are dramatically different than bonobos or chimpanzees or gorillas, okay? And we don't see anything like them alive today. And so by examining these fossils, we're able to perhaps come up with a timeline, perhaps come up with a series of adaptations over time that changed into what ultimately became humans. So the assignment is for you to do this. You're going to read this article. It says it's going to take about an hour, but to be clear, most of that time is going to be spent reading this article right here, okay? An analysis of early hominins or hominids, okay? Yeah, read it. It's a really stupid looking website, but it's not that hard to read, okay? You learn about what we compare. We're comparing all of these different, here's the hip, bones, and feet of a chimpanzee, of a hominid, which we think is an ancestor of a human called an Australopithecus africanus. Look at how different. And then here's a Homo sapiens. If you found this fossil, would you think it's more of a chimpanzee or a human? And that's kind of the point, okay? What is quadrupedal locomotion? What is bipedal locomotion? What's the difference? All right. Here are some skull fossils, okay? Here are some, all of these things: Australopithecus afarensis, africanus. These are all different ancestors of modern humans according to this theory, and you can learn a lot about them, okay? Australopithecus anamensis, when was it found? 4 million years ago. It's one of the earliest hominid species. Now hominids are things that are different from the chimpanzees and stuff, okay? Then there's afarensis. Then there is Kenyaanthropus, Australopithecus africanus, then there's Garhi, and as you go down here you just learn a little bit about all these different, and it talks about these just slight changes. Okay, here is the teeth of a Paranthropus, and here's the teeth, the bottom teeth of humans. Okay, and you can see some slight differences. This is Paranthropus ethiopicus, robustus, Boisier. All right. I would also encourage you that if you want to, there is a video on YouTube, lots of videos on YouTube that talk about this exact thing, and I think you would learn an awful lot. This is what I think is very intriguing, because this shows us the last 7 million years of our ancestry. You know, here are humans right here. We're all that's left. Everything else has gone extinct. But you see where there's a whole bunch of question marks? These links are what we think is how it appeared. We evolved from, we're not sure, we're pretty sure we came out of Australopithecus africanus, which came out of Afarensis, which came out of Anamensis, which came out of Ardipithecus. And so there's a lot of things going on here. All these other things that are offshoots, these are our cousins. They came from these are like different branches of hominids that went extinct. And why did they go extinct? Because they didn't have the traits that helped them to survive. Humans are the only ones that have made it through all this evolution. And we go back even further. Somewhere these are the ones that we have in these ancestors also became the bonobos, the gorillas, and the chimpanzees. Somewhere. Okay, here we talk about DNA evidence, and it's just not that long. Okay, so this is a good video here, Becoming Human Part 1. But take a look at this thing, read this through, and then complete the assignment. And the assignment's pretty straightforward. Don't read that. Thoroughly analyze the arguments. Okay, and then your job is to examine the evidence. What is the author offer as evidence to support his claim? Okay, is this sufficient to support his claim, and why or why not? This should not be a one-sentence answer. If you give me a one-sentence answer, I'm not going to give you full credit, or very much credit at all. It's hard for me to go through here and show you the rest of them, because for me I get the answers and I can't put just the question on the screen. But go through here and do it and read through it. It's not that difficult. Make sure you read the assignment. You might want to watch the video. I'm going to put a link to the video. Becoming, what was it called? Becoming Human or something. I'm going to put a link to that in the calendar, and you know, take your time and do a good job. All right.